Hi everybody, this is Trip on Two Wheels. Welcome back to the channel. Over the last couple of months, I have gotten a number of questions and comments from subscribers and viewers about this bike, the Kawasaki Vulcan S650. And most of them have been regarding the mods on the bike. Oh, they make your bike look so nice, so sleek, so sexy, etc., etc. What mods do you have on the bike? Where'd you get them? How much do they cost? Do you like them? Etc. So today I thought I would do a video going through all the mods on this bike, and I counted up today and I think I've got 21 different mods and accessories on this little beast. So today we're going to go through them. I'm going to tell you what they are, why I put them on the bike. Do I like them or don't I? Would I get them and put them on again if I were to do it all over again, or might I opt out? Anyway, that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to find a place to pull over here in a next mile or two and give you a tour of all these mods. So hang on and hope you enjoy. Alright, there's a little church up here that I really like. I've driven past it a number of times, but I've never pulled in. I've noticed there's a shady parking lot here. I think that's where we're going to go. Well, here is the bike. It's a 2015 Kawasaki Vulcan S, and I'm just going to start and go from the nose of the bike to the tail of the bike. Okay, first up is the windshield. Now this is a large Kawasaki KQR windshield. KQR stands for Kawasaki Quick Release, and it's just right for me. The large is 17.5 inches tall from the top of the headlight up to the rim of the windshield, and this for me works perfect. I am 5'11", and with my helmet on, it puts the wind right over the top of my helmet. The other option is a medium-sized windshield, and it is 14 inches tall, but that one was a little small for me. Now this windshield is actually an assembly, and it comes in 3 sections. You've got up top the actual windscreen, which is made of plexiglass, very good quality, Kawasaki OEM. Then secondly, you've got the mounting brackets, which hold the windscreen and mount it to the fork brackets. So you've got 3 specific different pieces. The chrome fork brackets, you've got the windshield mounting brackets, and then you've got the windshield itself. So what do I think of this? I love it. I love the fact that you can put it on, take it off. I like to do a lot of highway riding, a lot of long distance riding, and it really keeps the wind off of my chest, off of my face, keeps from pushing me back while I'm riding. I'm going to rate this a 10 out of 10. I really like this windshield. The next mod is the Kawasaki LED light bar. This absolutely lights up the night. You can see 20 times better with these 2 lights on at night than you can with just this headlight, which, to be honest, leaves a little bit to be desired. It's a halogen light and not really a bright light. But I think this looks great. You've got this powder-coated steel bar here that it mounts on. The 2 light pods. It works very, very well. You've got the light switch, the on-off switch right there. Again, I'm going to rate this very highly. In fact, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to rate it an 11. It is absolutely one of my favorite mods. Now the third mod is down below. It's the Evotech Performance Radiator Guard. Very easy to put on. I think I had to take off 4 bolts, 4 screws, something like that. It took me probably 15 minutes to put this on. I really like the looks. It doesn't have a bunch of brand logos on it. It does the job. I've had it on the bike now for about 9 months. It's held up very well. Really like it. I'm going to also give this a 10 out of 10. All right, before we continue on, I need to ask you all a big favor. It would be so helpful if y'all would subscribe to the channel, find that little red button down there that says subscribe and hit it, and then hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I put up a video. So please do subscribe, hit that little bell. Thanks so much. Now let's get back to the mods. Next up, we have the gear position indicator, which I really like. It's handy. Some people say, it's not necessary, but I like it. Pull up to an intersection, reminds me which gear I'm in. I'm not going to try to take off with the bike in 4th or 5th gear if I make a mistake. And it reminds me when I'm going down the highway, hey, you know, you're in 5th gear, you could be in 6th, you could be getting better gas mileage. So I like that. I'm gonna give that probably a 9. It's not necessary, but I really like it. 9 out of 10 on the gear position indicator. Mod number 5, you can't see. It's located under the tank, and it's an electric relay, which you have to have if you're going to put anything else electric on this bike. I had to put it on first of all when I got the light bar installed. So, you know, it's necessary. You can't do it without it. I don't see it, doesn't get in the way. What the heck? 10 out of 10. Next up are the R&G crash bars. These are made out of 1-inch tubular steel and powder coated. They really look nice on the bike. They're going to protect the bike and the engine if I ever go down, hopefully protect my legs. But from a styling standpoint, they're really nice. The welds are fantastic, looks great. The quality is really, really good. And I'm going to tell you, this particular model, these Adventure crash bars by R&G, are special in that they're the only ones that'll fit on this bike when you have the foot pegs in the extended reach position. Really like this. I know I sound like I'm an easy grader today. I'm giving this mod a 10 as well. I put this next mod on at the same time I put on the R&G crash bars, or engine guard if you want to call it that. The highway pegs, they're also made by R&G. I really like these. It's great after 100, 150 miles. I'm starting to get a little stiff in the saddle. My legs are getting a little stiff. I can just put my feet right up here, get some extra breeze up the pant leg on a hot day. I like these. I'm just not too fond of this pattern. It just doesn't go with the rest of the bike. So I'm going to rate these a 9 out of 10, but very sturdy, very good, good construction. Really like them. Next up, number 8, the power outlet. Right here on the other side of the instrument cluster. You can put a little adapter in there and run either 1 or 2 USBs off of it, or you can leave it as is, and it serves as a cigarette lighter adapter. You can use this to power a number of mods, a radio, a GPS, whatever you'd like. I think that these are pretty essential. I really like it. I don't use it all the time, but I use it often enough. I'm going to give it a 10. Number 9 are the Trackside blind spot mirrors. I think I got these from Cycle Gear or Revzilla. They are absolute trash. Please don't buy them. You can see how they're starting to corrode from behind, right there in the middle, and the other one as well. Great idea, and they do work. They're just too small, and they're started to corrode after like 30 days. Pieces of junk. I need to find some new ones, ideally some bigger ones. You know, they do the job though, so I'm going to give them a 1 and say, don't buy the Trackside blind spot indicators online from Revzilla or Cycle Gear. They're really crappy. Mod number 10 is another one of those you can't see. It's called the booster plug, and it's made by a company called Booster Plug. What it is it's a little onboard computer that has a temperature sensor right there, that probe if you can see it, and it helps your engine to run very efficiently. And what it does is it smooths out the power band. It really cuts down on the engine braking, of which this bike has a lot without this option on it. And it just makes the bike much more enjoyable to ride. It's enjoyable to ride without it. It multiplies that factor by at least 2 when you have it on. It competes with the Power Commander. It does basically the same thing. Not everything the Power Commander does, but the Power Commander costs about 3 times as much. I really like it. I'm going to rate it a 10. It might be one of those that I rate an 11. Absolutely love it. Number 13, the Smart Brake System. This is made by a company called STS out of Europe, which makes the Smart Turn System, which I also have on the bike, but we'll get to that in a minute. This little box right here that you can see zip tied on there matches the color of the bike, looks nice, not too difficult to install. What this does is, whenever you put on the brake or decelerate or downshift, you're going to get a flashing brake light. If you put on the brake, you'll get 3 flashes of the brake light, and then it stays on solid. if you're downshifting or decelerating, if you just let your hand off the throttle and let it snap into a non-acceleratory position, if that's a word, if that's such a thing, you'll get flashing of the brake light. Now this is going to really draw in the attention of riders behind you, be they on bikes, on cars. It's going to make you seen. I know I'm starting to sound like a pushover, but I'm giving this mod a 10 as well. Number 14, another one that's invisible from the outside of the bike. It works in conjunction with the turn indicator switch, and it is the Smart Turn System by STS, the same folks that also make the braking module we just talked about. And it's a self-canceling turn signal system. I can't tell you how many times in a full-faced helmet when I'm riding down the road, I'll forget that I've signaled and changed a lane, or I've made a turn and I leave the turn signal flashing. It just confuses the heck out of people. It's, hey, he's taking the eventual left or the eventual right. Anyhow, it does the job well. I am happy with it, but I'm only going to give it a 7 out of 10. And the reason is, sometimes you have to push really hard to get it to work. On my bike, when I push to the right, it's very easy. When I push to the left, it takes a lot more strength, or you've got to push it a lot harder. The other issue is sometimes it's a little tricky to turn off if you change your mind on turning. It's taking you a bit of effort to get the left side turned on, and then you say, I want to turn it off, and then you hit it, and if you're not real careful, sometimes it'll just stay on. So it's a little bit fiddly. I like what it does. I have to remember to push it hard. I'm going to rate it a 7 out of 10. Next up is the tank bag. This is the Coretech Super 2 12-liter magnetic tank bag. It is fantastic. It's got lots of storage room. It's made out of a really good quality material. It's just loaded with features. It's got 4 very strong magnets that stick it to the tank. I've never had any issue with this thing coming off. It's also got a leash up here to prevent it from going anywhere. It's got a lot of features, a lot of compartments. You see right here, you can put a map in here, notes if I'm making a video. You can slide your cell phone down in here to watch it as you're riding along if you're doing navigation with it. I've got a bunch of junk in here, but you can see it's got pockets on the sides. It's got organization pockets up top, one there. It's got pens and pencils. You could put your wallet in there, some other stuff in there. It's got this key leash, another Velcro pocket. You could put a map in there or some papers, your insurance, your driver's license. One of the really cool features of this tank bag is it's got a rain cover built in, and it's also got, I won't pull them out, but it's got some straps. So you can actually use these 2 attachment points here, and there's another one on the back here, and the straps you can attach to this bag, and then it becomes a backpack that you can actually carry around. It's got a secure handle here. It's also got a cord here to run headphones out. Let's say you've got a radio inside of here, or you've got a phone inside of here and you want to run headphones out. You could also run a charging cord in. This bag is just absolutely fantastic. Super high quality. It's got reflective piping on it. I can't say enough for this one. This is one that I could even rate it a 10 or even an 11. This is one of my favorite mods. Not very expensive. I really enjoy this one. Comes in so handy when you're out riding any sort of distance. Number 15 I also really like. This is the Garmin Zumo 396 GPS system. I've never had a problem with this. It's hardwired into the bike, into the battery system. It goes on as soon as you put it on the bike. It attaches very securely, and it's Garmin. Garmin is bomb-proof. Great company, great customer service. They say it's waterproof. I wouldn't leave it out in the rain, but I have ridden in the rain with it. It looks like it's sealed up really well. It's very sturdy, built extremely well. Let me see if I can take it off here. It's just one plunger that pushes down. You take it off. Now you can see how it mounts to the handlebars here. I put a little electrician's tape around there to keep it from scratching the bars. A very secure U-bolt. It's very tight. You've got the double clamp and ball attachment here like you have on those phone holders that are so popular these days. Super convenient, real easy to get on and off. It snaps right into place. You can see how it starts up as soon as you put it on there. I'm super happy with this. Broken record again, I'm going to give this one a 10. Now you guys may think, oh, he's giving everything a 10. Well, I told you I did a lot of research before I got these mods, and like I said, most all of them I'm happy with. Number 17, the Corbin Classic Solo Custom Seat by Corbin Seats. This puppy I put on the bike after I quickly realized that the stock seats that come with this bike, no matter which stock seat you get, are pretty much rubbish if you want to go out and ride longer than 25 miles. All three of those seats feel like you're sitting on a cinder block wrapped in a beach towel. So I started doing a little research, talked to other folks who were riding the Vulcan S, and I got a lot of recommendations for this seat. So I shelled out the bucks, I bought one, and I'm extremely happy. Now, this has a leather exterior, it's got closed cell, very dense memory foam, it's got a fiberglass base pan to it. Really good seat. I love it so far. I've probably ridden this bike 1,500 miles, 1,700 miles with the seat on over the period of about 3 months, and so far it's doing pretty well for me. You do have to special order this seat. It's custom built for you. They ask you a bunch of questions. You get to pick out the pattern. You get to pick out the color of the base of the seat, the back of the seat, the piping, the stitching, the Corbin logo on the other side. I'm not a big fan of logos, so I had it done in black. I had everything done in black just to sort of make it blend in with the bike and be a little muted. It did take about 3 to 4 weeks to get to me, but it was worth the wait. Now, a couple of the neat things about this seat. Corbin warrants the foam, the hardware, and the fiberglass pan for life for the person who buys it. If you sell it, the warranty does not transfer. The cover stock is rated for or warranted for a year. Now the nice thing is you can ride this for 5-6 months. If it's giving you issues or isn't as good as you thought it was, you send it back and they'll repack it to your direction. It'll take you a couple weeks to get it back, and they'll do that one time after you buy it. One other thing about the seat is it's got a flap that folds down here, but there is a sort of a hole or a slot, that's probably a better way to say it, that runs down into the seat. If you choose to buy a backrest, the Corbin backrest for this seat at a later time, you can buy it and it just slips down in there, and it's built specifically for this seat. Number 17 is the Hepco and Becker Solorack with driver backrest. This thing was a wonderful find for me because how often do you find a driver's backrest? You can find them all day long for the passenger, but it's tough to find them for the driver, especially a good one. This is a one-piece unit made in Germany, like I said, very solid. Look at those welds, powder-coated steel. This backrest comes right into the small of your back. You can lean back while you're riding, stretch out those lower back muscles. It is a godsend. This, in combination with the Corbin seat and the ErgoFit system on this bike, which allowed me to size it almost perfectly like a glove for me, these two items have turned this bike into a long distance bike for me. I can actually ride a full tank of gas in miles, 2¼ 230 miles, and I'm not fatigued at all. If you look back here, this is all one piece. You can get this rack by itself, but it mounts in right here where a normal rack would. It's super sturdy. You can take bungees and put a backpack on here. I do that. I'm going to do a video on the backpack one of these days. It's a great pack, but I'm super happy with this rack here. I'm giving this a 10. Now, I forgot to give a rating on the Corbin seat. I'm going to rate this seat an 8.5, and the reason is I don't think it's quite broken in yet. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about this seat. Sometimes I can go out and ride it 200 miles and be comfortable, and there's other times when I've gone out and after 80 or 90 miles, I start to get a little uncomfortable. So I'm going to give it another 500,000 miles before I decide if I'm going to send it back and have it repacked. I'll give you a final rating then. I'm pretty happy with it. It just doesn't rate a 10 yet for me. I hope it'll be there next time I do a review on this seat. Next up, the Aero Rebel exhaust. Another one of my favorites. I put this on a couple of months after I got the bike. The stock exhaust, I think you've heard me say in other videos, made this bike sound like the angry sewing machine. In fact, that was my nickname for it at the time. This exhaust here, I think, is probably one of the best, if not the best, made for the Vulcan S. The sound is throaty and deep without being too loud. I think the exhaust just looks great. The install wasn't tough. It's just a beautiful mod. It really sounds nice. Everybody that owns one of these really likes it. You can also take out the dB killer very simply. I've got another video out that shows you how to do that. And it gets louder, it gets throatier, it gets a little deeper. Some people like it. I prefer to have the dB killer in, but I really love this exhaust. I'm going to rate this one, guess what, a 10. The next mod I almost forgot about because I don't use it. And these are the passenger foot pegs. I don't ride with a passenger. I just don't enjoy it. I like riding the bike by myself. It's safer. This isn't a huge bike, although it's very capable of carrying a passenger, but it's just not my thing. Next to the left passenger foot peg, we have the Kawasaki OEM helmet lock. Now you'll notice I slide in a Kawasaki ignition key and it opens up the helmet lock. You slide your buckles of the helmet right on that hook, clicks into place. Now you'd think I'd rate this really highly. I'm going to give this lock about a 4 out of 10. Why? Not because it doesn't look nice, not because it doesn't work like it's supposed to, not because it isn't super convenient because it works off of your ignition key, but because it's outrageously expensive. This thing, and this is the one item I'll tell you what it cost today, was 120 stinking dollars. Now I could have probably bought a half dozen Chinese knockoffs, which would have been almost as good for the price that I paid for this. They wouldn't have worked with the Kawasaki key, but I'd have saved a ton of money. And last but not least, mod 22. I thought there were only 21 on the bike, but I forgot the passenger foot pegs. So guess what? The total is 22. But anyhow, you've seen these racks as I have been talking about the bike today, these mounting racks. Well, what do they go to? Well, first off, let me tell you, they are super good quality, solid steel, powder coat, really nice, easy to mount, very quick to mount. They mount the stabilizing bracket or fork here. It goes down to the foot peg assembly. They mount right into the fender frame here. Really good quality. So what goes on these guys? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Right here, I have one of two Givi 33-liter Monokey Trekker Series hard bags. These go on very easy. They slide over those two protrusions. There's some recessed parts in the hard bag, and then they just snap on and don't come off. Here, when you use the key, push down on the button, the whole front of the case will open up, but you can get it in them two ways. We've got very secure latches here, and you can just open the top for easy access. They've got some spongy, like sort of bungee cords here with a clasp. These are super high quality. They're made out of really thick plastic, very durable plastic. You can see they've got the water gaskets around to keep water from coming in. They've got aluminum reinforcements here. Just really good quality all the way around. The other way to open these bags is if you take these little levers here, throw them up, they then latch over this catch here, and then when you open the key and press this button, the whole side of the bag will pop out. And what's nice about that is it's got these plastic leashes that only allow it to open up about 3/4 of the way. You've got 66 liters of carrying capacity between those Givi hard cases. You can detach them, you can take them into a hotel room very easily at night. You've got another 12 liters here, and then I've got a backpack that I said I will do a review on some other time that holds another 40 liters that goes here and can be bungeed around there with another bungee from handle to handle to let this bike carry, let me see, 66 plus 40, it's 106 plus 12, 118 liters of carrying capacity. Okay, so recapping all the mods, what would I have done the same? What would I have done different? Well, let's start out with what I would have done different. First off, if I had to do it all over again, the blind spot mirrors. Pretty much trash. But hey, you know, you live and learn. If I'd have had to do it all over again, I would have got better ones. I would have got bigger ones. Second, I would have definitely done without the helmet lock. I really don't use it that much. It was 120 bucks. I would have either left it off completely, or I would have gotten a knockoff, a non-branded helmet lock that would have cost a heck of a lot less. And then thirdly, I'm up in the air on the STS Smart Turn System. I really like it when it works. It works most of the time. It works all the time. It's me that doesn't work all the time because I sometimes don't press the switch hard enough. I probably would do it again, but maybe I wouldn't. Not so sure. All the other mods on this bike I'm extremely happy with. My favorites are the windshield up front, the exhaust, the Corbin seat, and the Hepco and Becker backrest and Solorack combo. All the others I really like, but those are my favorite. I'd have to say my fifth is probably the tank bag. It just comes in so handy. Well, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed making that video. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I do have to mention a couple of quick things though. On the Givi hard cases, I forgot to mention, they say that they're water resistant, and I guess they are resistant, but they're not waterproof. I actually left those bags attached to my bike with some stuff inside of them overnight one night, and it rained and things did get wet. We must have had a pretty hard rain, but I found about a teaspoon of water in the bottom of each case, and if I had had some valuable stuff in it, I could have been in trouble. So the moral of the story is, you know, put your stuff in plastic bags, or don't put stuff in the back, leave stuff out overnight that could get ruined, because eventually you're going to ride in the rain with them on and you need that water protection. So they're not waterproof. Secondly, in combination with the backrest, it can make it very difficult to dismount from the bike. It's not so bad getting on, but if you're short or a little bit overweight or older and not so limber, it can make it tough to get off. Because they aren't waterproof, because they do seem to get in the way a bit, I'm gonna rate them about a 9. Well, there's all of the mods. 19 out of 22. I would certainly get 19 of them again. 2 of them definitely not, and 1 of them, maybe. Not too bad. Again, I did my homework before I started buying mods for this bike. I hope this video is part of your homework. Now, if any of you have comments on mods that you've put on the bike that I don't have on mine, or comments on my mods, or do you agree or disagree with me? What's your opinion? Do you like what I've done? Do you think I'm nuts? Tell me. Please put your comments down in the comments section. If you have a question on where I got them, I'll be happy to answer that. I hope this video was helpful to you. I had a good time making it. Hope you had a good time watching it. This is Trip on 2 Wheels, and until next time, ride safe and ride often.